If you like honey, chili and garlic, then today's recipe is for you. And what is that, Ma?
You tell me, what is it?
Is that because you can't remember how to say it? It's crispy honey and garlic chili chicken.
You know that's coming.
I did, yeah. I knew exactly that was coming. But we'll get on with the recipe. So first I'm going to start off with a chicken breast.
I shredded it.
So you can cut this into chunks if you want, but because I've called it shredded in the cookbook, which is the recipe that we are using today, and it's in the second cookbook on page 177, we're going to shred it. But by all means, you can just cut it into cubes if you want. And shredding is very easy. Just going to essentially butterfly it. But
the picture showing it.
Okay. You mean the video describes it?
Yes.
And then we're just going to cut these into little strips. I'm trying to go across the grain, but as I always say, with chicken, it's not too much of an issue because it's not as chewy as beef or other meats can be. So you just want them essentially looking like that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be every single one the same size.
No, they can be different sizes, yeah. So when this is done, we're just going to place them into a bowl like that and set it aside. Then to a tray, we're going to add some potato starch, and this is how much potato starch we use. We have our own massive container of it, especially for videos because we use a lot for videos. But at home, we use it for slurry, for thickening, as you'll see later. So we're just going to add a few spoonfuls of the potato starch to a tray. Now, like I said before in the past, many takeaways will cut this with plain flour, which is absolutely fine. In fact, it's what we would probably do if we were doing a Hong Kong style batter. So where you quickly fry them and then double fry it to get them extra crispy. But because this isn't double frying and we're just trying to dehydrate the batter as much as possible, we're just using potato starch because this is going to be in the oil for much longer than it would be with the Hong Kong style chicken, and that's just to get it really crispy and shreddy, but you know what I mean. What will happen if this has the flour in it now?
It will get burned.
Yeah. Now actually some people do like that flavour and it does give it a bit of colour, but it adds a bitterness there that isn't for our palate but could be for yours. Historically they would have used custard powder to help get colour on there as well, but we're leaving that out today because it's not in the recipe, but it is in some recipes in the first cookbook. And if you want to get our cookbooks, just comment below and I'll send you the link. Everyone's going to go some what, Ma?
Salt. Hashtag MSG massive.
Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit extra. This will actually brown, but not lots.
Some white pepper.
Yeah, that just goes in. You don't want too much because it can be overpowering, especially with white pepper because it's almost got a mustardy sort of heat to it.
Give it a mix.
When that's mixed well, we're just going to get a good tablespoon's worth of this starch mix. Yeah, thanks. And then coat that chicken. Now I know in past videos I've shown us put it directly into the mixture itself, which you can do. It's just here we like to show you different ways of doing things because some ways work for some people and some ways don't work for others. So it's up to you which method you do. We just want to make sure you're aware of all kinds. Then we're going to add just one egg white.
Just the white.
Yeah, you don't want the yolk. No. The yolk is slightly acidic, which will counteract the effects of the egg white to tenderize the chicken. But you can use it all. I mean, that has been really picky and almost pedantic, but it does make a difference. Having said that though, if you're just cooking for yourself and you don't want to waste the yolk, by all means add it. No one's going to call the police on you. And then we're just going to mix this up. Make sure that chicken is well coated.
Go place the chicken back to the tray.
Yeah, just like this.
That's for the second coating.
And you only need to do this once. But if you want thicker batter on the outside, you can do it a couple of times. And as always I say, if you've seen this before, you'll know this little technique, but make sure your hands are dry before you start
mixing the
glugging of the sink. Well, hold on a second.
Very thirsty, the sink.
They probably can't even hear it through here. They might be able to hear it. Okay, so the sink stopped making noise. Dry hands, get some of the starch mix on your fingers first, and then you want to come underneath and start flicking it over, and that way the starch mixture doesn't stick to your fingers and sticks to the chicken. Obviously, this is just how we do it in a takeaway. When you're at home, you can actually throw this into a bag, like a plastic bag, food bag, and then just shake it up so that the pieces of chicken are coated that way. When you do it that way, you can actually knock a lot of those little
bumps out.
Yeah, so there is pros and cons to that.
Yeah, I think I prefer doing this way.
Yeah, I do too, because you get better batter.
But it's entirely up to you.
Time is of the essence for you. You just want to whack it into a bag. It will be much quicker. End product's not as good. When they're all coated well, you just want to pick them up and squeeze them gently. And and that will help the batter stay on. Oh, tip that I haven't said before, sometimes you'll pick one up and you think, oh, that's a nugget, but then you'll unfold it and it's actually a long strip. So if you see like a big chunky bit, just pull on it to make sure it is a chunky bit and not a strip that's been folded over on itself, like that. Has it been folded? No, it's just a chunky strip.
Yeah, I think ready.
Now they're all ready, yeah? We'll get on with cooking this. We've got veg oil here, and this is around 180 degrees C, and we're just going to throw them in. Remember to always place the ingredients away from you when you're deep frying. That way, splashes go that way and not this way. Deep fry these for about 8 to 10 minutes because we really want them really crispy and dehydrated. The ingredients list for everything is below in the description, by the way.
Yeah, it's doing its job.
What, the oil?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. I didn't see that. Unfolded it.
And press it in.
You don't have a spider, which is one of these. Spider sieves, these are really useful when you're doing Chinese cooking, especially with deep frying stuff. We've got these linked below, as well as most of the equipment we use in the description, that is.
See, if you do it in the bag, you don't get this sort of texture. Like the bumpy bit, it look really...
Bumpy?
Yeah, if you do it in the bag, you won't get this sort of naughty thing.
Or you've got to be very gentle.
Yes.
But,
I prefer it with the naughty, not
nodules, are you looking?
Yeah, that's right.
Knobbly bits.
Yeah, something like that. It looks really nice.
I've got to say, one of the reasons why starch doesn't brown is because there's no protein in it to really brown. Oh, and when you first put these in, I always forget to say, you don't want to move them around too quickly. You almost want the outside to set before you start using a sieve to push them around. Because if you do that, you can knock large chunks off them as well.
Yeah, not only that, you stick to your spiral.
Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is about as brown as it's going to go. As you can see, the only browning bits are the bits that are slightly exposed to the chicken. That's why it's browning, because of obviously the protein. And there is a slight hue. Again, that's just the MSG. Just going to take this out, drain them, and set them aside.
Look, it's good to eat now.
Yeah, like a snack.
Yes.
A fancy snack.
Yes.
Yes.
We used to fry it and just eat like that.
It's like one of our staff lunches actually, which is our third cookbook. Choose staff lunches. That's what they should look like. Now on to making the sauce. As Mum just pointed out, I forgot to cut the veg, so we're going to do that now. 1 chili pepper? Yeah, so in actually the second cookbook, we don't add fresh chili into this. I'm just doing it today because it looks good, and also it does add a little extra flavour, but again, it's optional. I'm just going to cut this finely. In fact, you can do this dish completely without chili if you don't like chili.
It still tastes good.
Yeah. We're going to add some, what's this, Ma?
Vegetable oil.
Yeah, to a pan. Right, so when this starts heating up, we're going to add rehydrated garlic granules. All we did to prep this was pour some hot water over them for about 20 minutes and then drain them, and then they're ready to use.
Salt.
Yep.
MSG.
Yep. And then we're just going to brown off that MSG. We'll know when the MSG is brown because it will smell like a Chinese takeaway. And then we're going to add water. Again, measurements below. We're using honey today, but most takeaways historically would have used golden syrup or a mixture of golden syrup and honey. So if you use honey at home and you're like, it's not quite right, try golden syrup next time.
Chili.
That's fresh chilies. Now we don't use actually fresh chilies in the recipe in the cookbook, but we're just using them today because it looks good for the photo. Chili flakes.
And sugar.
Yeah, sugar. And the final ingredient, some vinegar. I'm just going to cook this off for about 30 seconds.
Just reduce the water.
Reducing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because you said douche, do you know what douche is? This is like a swear word in America.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And then we're just going to use potato starch slurry to thicken this up. Small amount at a time. You don't want too much. And it's roughly the thickness you want. That's when you throw in your chicken. Now there are 3 main ways of making this in general. You can add sweet chili sauce to this, but then in some takeaways they will call that sweet chili and honey crispy chili chicken rather than honey garlic crispy chili chicken. And some places will add ketchup. So if you want to see those videos, comment below.
You get that done.
Yeah.
And then you got the pre-fried chicken strip.
Yeah, your crispy chicken.
And then give it a mix.
And then we're just going to garnish this with some fresh chives. You can use spring onions if you want. So here we go. We haven't put any... I thought I cut some fresh chilies. Oh, so fresh chilies, these are hot fresh chilies. And these are going to go on top.
Yep.
I'm just going to show you guys. Look at that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Should we get some rice?
Yeah.
Got some steamed rice as normal. That's it. So, I'm sure you can see that. Rice.
Yeah.
The flavour is different if you're going to be using, what's the word?
Dry chili.
Not dry chilli. I can't remember what I was going to say. Golden syrup. It's actually a little bit sort of not richer, but rich in a different way. Again, you want to use good quality honey if you're going to do it with honey. But like I said, you're probably going to be like, it doesn't taste like my local and that's what you want, which is absolutely fine. If your local is just using a mixture of golden syrup or just golden syrup on its own, then try that first. You won't know until you try though, to be honest. Very, very good.
Yes.
Really good with the rice.
I have no word for it, just excellent.
Yeah, and I also don't have any...
And the fresh chili, because we like it,
Yeah.
it brings out the extra flavour on it. Flavour.
It adds like a freshness to the dish, like it all normally does. Some of you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. You do you.
We do it.
Yeah, we do we. It's another great t-shirt idea. We do we. So give this a go. Also, some places will be adding lime juice to this instead of the vinegar, which also adds another sort of layer, something a bit more fresh, which is really nice, but it's not the same.
Yeah. And the stickiness of it is just...
Yeah, look at, not really.
No word for it. And it coated really well.
I actually prefer chives as well because I'm not as strong as spring onions.
Number one.
So, until next time, Matt, what?
Thank you for watching. Hit the like buttons, comments, subscribe. Happy cooking, happy eating.
Until next time, take care.
It's very good.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when you let it cool down, it's just the stickiness, isn't it?
Yeah.